Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this literally doesn't work. Let's get open for business. It is Friday night, guys. I am so excited. You know, if you've been watching my channel, how excited I am because literally we are 12 days away from training camp opening. I mean, I know we're talking about practice, not a game. We talking about practice. But look what the cat drug in.
Yeah.
DMV Dallas Cowboy.
Pretty big cat drug me in, huh?
Hold on. You know, I've been pouring one out for my homie. We're going to pour a blue shot out because we're all blue. Because my man has not been on YouTube. So do you have an update for us, man? What's going on in DMV Blue's life right now?
Well, you know, I got a DMV Blue.
I'm sorry.
Not DMV traffic.
Oh,
yeah.
You haven't been on air a while, man. So, I'm old. I've been hitting the head.
What have you done for me lately,
listen,
right?
Man, the helmets we had back in my day aren't like the ones they had back then. And when we got concussions, it was basically get up and get back out there. So forgive me, DMV Dallas Cowboys.
All right, yeah. Well, update is, man, I've been getting the itch, so I almost made a video today, man. So I might be back. I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, things are looking up. There's a lot of trash talk going on right now. I've been defending our boys, man. So that's really what's been making me definitely getting ready to get back into the swing of things.
Well, in case you guys didn't know it, we are 57 days, 19 hours, 21 minutes, and 57 seconds away from kickoff against the Carolina Panthers. Guys, it's coming. This is one of the last weekends, this one and the following one, that we don't have football to really talk about. So catch your breath and get ready for the ride because, I mean, it's the NFL season, man.
Yeah.
All the talk is just about over. We basically have the team that we have. But since you were talking about trash talking, I got a little clip here.
Okay.
Good old Ben McAdoo. Ben McAdoo had the nerve, after being fired during the season, to talk trash about the Cowboys, as well as everybody else in the NFC East. Can you believe that? Dude was 13-16, got fired in the season, was a complete disgrace after being a Super Bowl favorite. Basically said, did you hear what he said? I
didn't hear what he said. What did he say?
First of all, he said, well, the Cowboys have a good offensive line, but we've been hearing that for years. That's the first statement. He said, they got some young guys on the defensive line, but they're always suspended. And Sean Lee, well, he's always hurt.
Yeah, that's the answer right there.
He went on to say that, the Redskins, well, they're the Redskins, and that the Eagles aren't that great, and that he believes in the Giants. Do you think he was still trying to get rehired by them?
I don't know what the hell he was doing, but, I mean, common sense should tell him maybe he should just chill with the comments.
Well, here's one thing we do know, though. He is still on the payroll because that contract he had with the Giants, he's getting paid the next 2 years.
That's a good point. So
I guess that's his way of saying,
you gotta,
thank you for the cash.
Thank you for the free money. Thank you for the free money.
Boy.
I mean, I guess if somebody was going to give me free money, I'd talk trash about everybody else, too, until that free money stopped coming in.
Well, I knew it wouldn't be long. How are we doing tonight, Michael? Oh, Cowboy Crunk. Now, here's what's crazy, okay?
Uh-huh.
Cowboy Crunk. You remember Cowboy Crunk, don't you?
Yeah. I remember Cowboy Crunk.
Okay.
My man. What's up, Cowboy Crunk?
He is halfway across the world. Had to set his alarm clock for 5 a.m. so that way he could watch the show.
What?
Yeah, man. It's unbelievable.
My man.
Shout out to everybody in the military who watches all over the country. I mean, all over the world and keeps us safe. Thank you, because I couldn't do it. One, I got bad knees and I'm too old, but I appreciate all that you guys do. I see Anita Taylor in here again. Oh, Lordy, here we go. Steamin' Willie Beeman, of course. here talking trash as always. Another one of them damn Eagle cockroaches that are in here. Right behind him, here, brethren, Atlanta Falcons cockroach.
Oh,
okay, this troll,
gotcha.
this troll right here, he keeps sending me emails.
Oh, really? He sends you. He's an email troll.
Look, he said, "Man, you need a haircut and a shave and stuff, man. Do I need to start a GoFundMe for your haircut and everything else?" I'm like, "Listen, man, you realize you Atlanta Falcons are the new Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep.
You guys are the ringless wonders, man. You guys made it to the Super Bowl and gave up the biggest lead ever, the biggest choke job ever. So I don't want to hear nothing about your.
And let's not go back to when the Denver Broncos spanked them too. That one Super Bowl too. You remember that one when they had Jamal Anderson?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Remember
that all too well.
The dirty bird. But I see a lot of comments there about Earl Thomas. Here's the question I'm wondering. Is Earl just teasing us? Is he just playing it? Because he knows we're here with welcome arms, and it's just easy.
He can't be teasing us, man. I don't think he's teasing us because...
Or is he trying to burn some bridges with the Atlanta Falcons? With the Seattle Seahawks.
I mean, they might as well be the Atlanta Falcons. They might as well be. They all the same.
One bird versus another one, okay? I don't care if they're Eagles or Falcons or Seahawks. They're all dumb birds, okay? But I was talking about this in our video earlier today. If you are a Seattle Seahawk fan and you keep seeing him doing all this stuff,
I'd be turned off. I'd be turned off.
Do you want him back?
No, I'd be like, just make the trade, man. Make the trade.
He'd be like, you know what? I mean, to me, I know if I saw my fellow player while we're still in the playoff chase, going into the Cowboys locker room and saying, you know, if they kick me to the curb, come get me, I'd be like, what the F?
Yeah.
Dude, we're still fighting for the playoffs. You talking about going to another team. Okay, that's one thing. But then to turn around and start all of a sudden, now you're talking.
Oh, we got Vash on
a regular. Oh, Vash, how you doing tonight? You know, let me go. I better get to this topic. If you're going to call in, let me get to this topic before you get here because I don't want to see you rolling your eyes, pulling out any guns or anything. But we're going to talk about Jason Garrett, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get to Jason Garrett so he can roll his eyes and get it out of his system and stuff.
Hey, can we not call him JG? JG is my name. I'm JG, so whenever they say JG, I'm like, why y'all trashing JG? That's me.
Okay, but look, for me, every year what I've done that I've had Jobu is I've gotten a jersey made up with the year on it for that season. So I've got 2013, you know, then I got 2014. I didn't get one made in 2015, and you saw what happened in 2015.
Get one made.
Right. So I had 2016. 2016 was fantastic. Then I had last year's 2017. People kept saying, why are you wearing a Jason Garrett jersey? It's like, no, it's Cowboy Jobu for the 17th season. It ain't Jason Garrett. I'm not wearing anything Jason Garrett.
I mean, y'all could at least say Quincy Carter. Quincy at least kind of started for the most part, right?
You can go all around this man. Have you ever seen anything in here with Jason Garrett in it?
Nah, man. Nope. And there's a lot of stuff in here, too.
Well, my wife will tell you there's too much stuff in here. She'll say, you know, you need to get rid of some stuff. It'd be nice to see some walls and things like that. I'm like, listen, every single thing in here is something that means a lot to me. I can point out exactly where I was when such and such happened in here. So it's like, honey, listen, you got your whole upstairs with your fitness room, your big closet, you know, your office. Can I just have my man cave?
I mean, at least you get a man cave. You know what my man cave is? It's got a bunch of toys in it right now.
Oh.
A bunch of kid toys.
Don't worry, you're welcome over here.
At least your kid is grown.
Okay, but listen, but you're welcome here. You know, I've been actually working on this place because this is basically my sports bar. When the season gets here and we're watching games, you might see me sitting here. You might see me sitting over at the bar. You might see me sitting on the sofa there in front of the screen. Or you might even see me on the Cowboys on deck out there outside when the weather's nice watching games. So we'll be broadcasting, having a great time and stuff. But Jason Garrett, I'm seeing more and more people talking about, is Jason Garrett on the hot seat?
I mean, in my eyes, he's on the hot seat. I don't know if Jerry Jones sees it the same way, but as we've said, they've allowed him a lot more rope to you know what I'm saying, hang himself with this offseason. They've allowed him a lot more control.
Right.
And all or nothing, they made it seem like Jason Garrett, this was his operation.
Here's what I've noticed. I got to say, where's Jerry Jones? You know, since we had that showdown with Roger Goodell and Jerry Jones, remember how Jerry Jones, I got my attorneys and everything, we're going to fight this thing, and everything else, was ready to go to war. And then Roger and them met, and all of a sudden, he came out, we're going to pay the fine. It was a totally different attitude to me. And he was like a dog that just got, slapped on the nose, and he's got his tail between his leg, and we're going to pay that fine. And since that time, you really have not seen Jerry Jones being Jerry Jones. I mean, think about it. We had free agency. We brought in new players and stuff. You didn't see Jerry Jones announce anybody out there. You haven't really seen him out there doing updates other than a couple times, we like Dez Bryant, and, Dez Bryant's a Dallas Cowboy a few times. But he was the one that had to be the hatchet man with him.
Yeah.
When you look at this team, it's totally different than it used to be there.
Now, see, at first I thought that maybe Jerry might have been sick or something like that, like something that we didn't know about. I think that Goodell put the hammer down on him.
Honestly, I wish I had been a fly on the wall, because here's what I believe happened. Again, I'm just Joe the fan, and I'm just doing my thoughts aside. But I think because there was a provision, and you remember before that stuff, they used to talk about saying that they could actually take a team away from you.
Yeah.
And when Jerry Jones at first people were listening to him about getting rid of Roger Goodell. At first they were kind of like, okay. But then he wanted to put, what is his name? Used to be a GM for somebody. He's on NFL Network. He's like old and senile now.
Is it Polian?
Yes, Bill Polian. He started talking about wanting to put Bill Polian as the commissioner. And then the other owners started saying, wait a minute. They just woke up and said, wait a minute. You're talking about putting your own puppet in for the commissioner. And that's when they always said, let's pump the brakes on this stuff, Jerry. We ain't with you on that one. And I believe that Roger Goodell got together with those other owners, got 3/4 of them to say, listen, Jerry, you're going to pay this, and you're going to settle your ass down, or we're going to take the Cowboys from you.
And I totally agree with that. And I think that there were a couple of other things that are factoring in too, because I believe Jerry had something to do with the Vegas move as well, probably.
There's also a New York deal thing with real estate and, of course, the NFL experience and stuff. So there's other. See, Jerry is, love him or hate him, Jerry's about making some money. You cannot argue with the fact of what he has done in Dallas and making money. Hasn't won the Super Bowl without Jimmy Johnson, but he makes money for the NFL. But there are still some other owners that are happy to take the money for Vegas, but still don't quite like the idea of Vegas.
Yeah.
But I think the NFL is more evolving, and I think they're trying to get away from the investigations and the disciplines and things like that, and they're just getting to the point where we're just going to be, we're the NFL, bitch, and we're about making money.
Exactly.
And that's going to be the bottom line to me, because they got rid of a lot of the investigators that they had from the Zeke Elliott situation. And it just seems like they're trying to appease the president and stuff, just trying to make the anthem protests go away and just get back to making a whole bunch of money. That's me. Now, Jerry, don't get mad at me. I'm sorry, Jerry Jones. You my boy. I hope to see you again at the commissioner's party and all that. And if you want to talk, hit me up. Have your people call my people. Oh, I don't have any people. Have your people call me, and we can talk, and you can set the record straight. I'll be more than happy to deal with that situation. But to the original thing about from Jerry Jones, to me, it seems like for the first time, Jason Garrett has been really the guy, the point person for the team, more than he ever has before.
And in my opinion, that's how it should have been. If you're going to hire a coach, hire a coach and let a coach coach. Bill Parcells once said, something about, at least let me go and get the groceries or something.
If I'm going to cook the meal,
if I'm going to cook the meal.
And I tell you what, you know how much cooking I do.
Yeah.
Every time I send my wife to the grocery store and say, honey, I need this, she come back, and I'm like, what is this? That's not what I need to make this. So I feel exactly what he says. When he says, let me buy the groceries, I know exactly what he means. But to me, it seems like they're basically setting it up that if it doesn't work, they're going to point to him and say, hey, you had complete control. You saw all or nothing. Jason Garrett was the guy that was really leading him more than you thought he was. It's not me, Jerry Jones. Because here's the deal. He's got this year and next year on that contract, and you never have a coach go into the last year of his deal. You have to either extend him at the end of this year or you have to let him go. So that's where I think that they've kind of backed away. Jason Garrett, It's on you now. You put together the team that you want to. You hire the guys that you need and so on. And if that's not the case, you know who's going to be the fall guy will be like Scott Linehan.
Yeah, absolutely. If you see like Scott Linehan, like his play calling gets stripped away or something like that, like you know that Jason's on the hot seat. So just look out for that if it does come to that.
Oh, man, I see some of my fans are taking care of brethren. The Falcons fans. Falcons are trash now. I'm going to tell you, brethren, okay, no, this is not just trash talking or anything like that. But honestly, I look at your team and I look at Matty Ice, and the last few years, again, because I look at the numbers, between Julio Jones, the last 3 years has been going downhill. He's been getting injured more and more and more, but his numbers have been going down. Same thing since Matty Ice was MVP and he choked in the Super Bowl. His numbers have been going down. And I look at that NFC South. That division is getting pretty tough with the exception of Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. I don't think you're honestly going to make the playoffs this year. And it's not that I'm trying to hate. That's being my honest assessment of that team. You look at the NFC right now. The NFC looks stacked, but there's a couple of teams that you kind of look at and I say, maybe the Rams kind of peaked last year. I don't see the Rams really improving that much more than what they did. And I think the book will be more out on Jared Goff this year than it was last year because nobody thought Jared Goff was even going to play.
Absolutely.
That horrific season he had the year before. They surprised a lot of people much the way that the Eagles did. And that's one of those things that you see teams that always go from worst to first. It's not me being hateful. How you doing, Anita? Kyle? Cowboy Crunk. Atlanta is like Kansas City. One good year and then bums the next. Yeah, that's about right.
No, that's not true because Kansas City would at least still kind of make the playoffs and just get bumped out in the first round every year. Atlanta goes up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah, but I kind of wonder about Andy Reid because Andy Reid is kind of like, to me, like Marty Schottenheimer. He's that really good coach that always has those teams playing well, but he can't win the big ones. Not that we've got a coach that wins the medium ones. Quite frankly, I'm hoping. I keep every year. I've never been. Truth and honesty, I've never been a Jason Garrett fan, but I'm praying and hoping that maybe this year will be the year that we get together because I think he actually has some better coaches below him. I think Chris Richard could be the real deal, the guy that might really help us get over the hump. Thoughts?
Absolutely, yeah. I actually had an argument with one of my close friends yesterday about this, saying that he was pretty much telling me that the Cowboys defense was going to get exposed. I was like, how are they going to get exposed? He said through the back end. I said the back end? Do you not know who we hired? Do you not know how well our young rookies played? I think that a lot of the media perception out there is tricking a lot of folks into believing a certain narrative.
Well, okay. Think about this time last year. Last year, what did they say about the Rams?
Not a thing.
What did they say about the Eagles?
Last place.
What did they say about the Giants?
First place.
Super Bowl favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can say all you want right now, but here's the reality is things work out a little different than what you think they're going to. Half the teams that made the playoffs, by average, won't make it the next year. In fact, in the NFC, the only team that made the playoffs the year before was the Atlanta Falcons. Everybody else is new. This time last year, we were talking about Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, Super Bowl favorite. Eli Manning, 2-time Super Bowl MVP. Great defense. Odell Beckham, Brandon Marshall, Sterling Shepard. You're not going to be able to stop those guys. Dallas Cowboys, great offensive line. Zeke Elliott, Rookie of the Year quarterback. Seattle Seahawks, 12th man. That Legion of Boom.
Yeah.
They weren't talking about...
Things happen, injuries happen.
They weren't talking about New Orleans.
Things play out
They weren't talking
different.
about the Rams. They weren't talking about the Eagles. They weren't talking about the Vikings. So all this stuff and all these preseason rankings, you can throw that crap out the window because it doesn't really mean anything. Chances are, more times than not, people can't predict from 1 week to the next. You think they can predict the whole season?
That's a good point.
Now, back to our Cowboys. Here's what I look at. They say, you got nobodies for wide receivers. Okay. Take Dez Bryant out of the equation in 2016. Who do we have for wide receivers?
For 2016, we had Bryce Butler. We had Terrence Williams.
He had a whole lot of experience, didn't he?
Beasley.
Terrence Williams.
No, but we had about the same type of guys we have right now, which excites me because
Exactly.
He's going to spread the ball around.
Right. So exactly, we had about the same kind of guys we had. We didn't. Bryce Butler was completely unproven. He's still unproven.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we
you
had
Terrence Williams. You still had Dez Bryant, but Dez Bryant was hurt the first part of the season. So when you look at that, Cole Beasley did not have a breakout year until that year.
Yeah.
Where he led the team. So to go through and say you got nobodies, well, we had nobodies in 2016, but we were able to win because the offensive line could block. Zeke Elliott was running the football much like we had with Roger Staubach, much like we had with Troy Aikman. People don't realize that without those running games, I don't know that Troy Aikman would have won Super Bowls with his arm.
I'm fairly certain he wouldn't have.
And the other thing they also had, too, was always great defense.
Absolutely.
Now, and looking at our defense, okay, DeMarcus Lawrence finished the season healthy. Great. The year before, he had back surgery. So you figure he's going to take off where he left last year. He should be okay. Taco started off real slow. Didn't really do jack the first half of the season. Second half of the season, limited play. Started playing pretty well for the team. So you're going to have that pack. You know, Tyrone Crawford is not going to wow you, but he's going to get about 5 sacks a season. Okay, all right. So that's pretty good. So you look at your defensive line. Not in too bad a shape. I still would like to have a number one, a really big number one. Hopefully Collins will be healthy. But your defensive line is in pretty good shape. You know Sean Lee can play linebacker.
Yeah.
Jalen Smith played on one foot. If that foot improves any, you know he'll be a little bit better. But you still now have a rookie who's healthy. You know, Van Der Esch, you don't know what you get until you start getting him out there. Hopefully he's not a Bobby Carpenter.
Yeah, I think he's a step up from Bobby Carpenter.
Okay,
but that's just a hunch I have. I don't know. He hasn't played a snap yet, but we'll see.
So had we had a little better health in linebacking, we would have been a whole lot better. Because the reality is, games that Sean Lee missed were the games that they were eating us up on the ground. And
agreed.
Maybe if he had played in those games, or we had somebody who wasn't quite as bad playing, you might have stopped a few of those plays and won a couple of those other games and been in the playoffs. Now, as far as our defensive backfield, where they say they didn't add anybody, I don't know that you needed to, because the first half of the season, you had half of them couldn't get on the field.
Yeah.
Awuzie kept trying to get on the field, but that hamstring kept getting pulled and pulled and pulled till literally the middle. Yeah, Vash, I'm waiting for you to call in, man. What you talking about? I got the seat right here next for him.
Yeah, man.
Pop in here.
Call in, Vash.
Vash, call on in, because we got finished talking about Jason Garrett. So it's safe now. But you know the cockroaches are out here, and they will talk to smack. And we're still looking for, what's his name, Terrence Michael?
No, it sounds like Tracy.
Trey. We're looking for Trey. We need to actually get a poster put up. Have you seen this troll, Trey? You know, because he's been missing for the last 2 weeks and stuff.
Hey,
but please, go ahead and call in, Vash, because we got it all hooked up. And Law, if you're in the house here, get your daughter to bed and things. We'll be ready to rock and roll.
Why don't you ask your friend to make on another side that says, "Where's Trey?"
Yeah, where's Trey? But looking at our defensive backfield, okay, Awuzie, when he finally got on the field second half of the season, his numbers and statistics were really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Lewis, he was consistent all season long.
Very competitive, fiery. You need guys like that.
Right. Byron Jones, I have always said he's not a safety. To me, see, I'm old school. That I just love the hit. When I played football, there was nothing better when you would get that perfect hit. When you would hit that guy in the chest and you just feel that whole body just go limp and just fall out. And you just stand over the guy like, yeah, I just kicked your mother effing butt. Byron Jones was not that kind of safety to me.
Nah, he was more of a finesse type of guy. Kind of get out of the way a little bit, you know.
I want a safety that makes a wide receiver think that if I go over the middle, I may not go home tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's not proper now because of the much kinder and gentler NFL. But you need a safety that makes a receiver think about that when he's going across that middle. If there's no fear.
Here we go. Might be Vash.
I don't know who that is. Restricted. That might be Cowboy Crunk.
Yeah, probably is. He's out of the country.
Hello, Mark Holmes here.
I just called him. He's trying to call me, but it's not going through.
He's trying to Skype in?
Yeah, maybe because you don't have Skype.
Okay. Oh, okay. Mainly probably because I missed it. But thank you. Okay, let me go ahead and call him back. Sorry, Vash. Hold on. Let me see if we can get you here. That's what happens when you're old and technology challenged like I am, man. You're always going to mess some stuff up. Vash, you there?
Yo, what's cracking lacking?
Okay, man. Let me see if I can get that out. Get your picture of you out. There we go. Okay, and let me readjust. Okay, we got some feedback here.
Yo.
What's up, Vash? What's going on?
JG's, get your head back on YouTube and quit playing, boy.
See, I knew that was coming.
I know. I told him it was coming.
Okay.
Let me tell you something, man. Look, man. The YouTube Illuminati has hit all us at something. Me, Law, Foots, they kind of, Mark don't really do, too much stuff, but they'll take some of his video down too.
Whoa. I don't really do too much. What are you talking about?
Well, Mark, you're more of a commentary reaction person, but sometimes they'll take your clip down or whatever. My bread and butter is stealing film from the NFL, so they take stuff from me. Me and Law out the game, me, Law, and Foots out the game. I'm not commentary guy, I'm film guy. You know what I mean?
Okay, I hear you. They get me sometimes too. Believe me, they do. I mean, because sometimes I'll go through. What I like to do is I love to prove people wrong. Okay, because you constantly hear these same narratives, and that's the reason why I originally started. One of the reasons why I originally started my YouTube channel, because I would watch stuff and I was like, that isn't even close to right. And so it would be like I would go in there and start trying to say, okay, here's the real narrative of what's going on and stuff, and try and at least set the record straight, especially with like Stephen A. Smith. So I started doing a lot of commentary on them. That's when I started losing a lot of videos and stuff with the good old YouTube police. But I feel I
dig that. First of all, thanks for having me on. You know what I mean? Salute the Cowboy Nation. Salute the Natchez High School powerlifting, putting on for my old squad and all that. But I got a question for y'all, if it's okay. I got a question.
Okay.
Question for us now.
And it's more so free agency, and it got nothing to do with the Cowboys, really. But when was the last time Dez Bryant was an elite receiver? All this has a plan. So
2014.
Eric,
yeah.
Eric, the shirts and stuff, I'm still waiting on my guy to finish getting. If you're the 3X ones, I'm still waiting to get those from John's friend.
Oh, okay. All right, I got you. I didn't know.
He's the guy that's printing the shirts, so I'm still waiting for those to get in. I apologize on that one, and I'm not. Yeah, don't worry, we'll get that squared away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, get on me.
So Dez Bryant that's one thing I was talking about earlier today. The 2014 Dallas Cowboys is completely gone. In the NFL, things changed rapidly because Dez had, I want to say, 1,300 yards in 2014.
Yeah, I want to say he broke some kind of a record that year. I remember it was against the Redskins where he took like a hitch pass for about 80 yards. You remember that?
Oh yeah. But yeah, he and 13 touchdowns. But that was that contract year, and that was a year that I got a lot of crap. Although I get crap every year, because I said, listen, because everybody kept saying, pay the man. That's where I'm on with DeMarcus Lawrence. I'm like, pump the brakes just yet, because I said, what happens when you do those mega deals with wide receivers at that magic year of 28, that they start going downhill. Mm-hmm. It's not that they're relaxing. It's just that Father Time is getting up. In the same way with the running backs, when Zeke Elliott's contract comes up in a couple of years, it's like, do you pay him a mega contract? Because shelf life is not that long for those guys. So yeah, you're right. So Dez Bryant has not been an elite receiver since 2014. Injuries have caught up to him.
So with that being said, right, and I'm not saying that it's all Cowboys Nation thinking this, but if you think along this line, I just want y'all to just rethink your stance a little bit. Dak Prescott never had a number one receiver, if that's the case.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So 2016 is Cole Beasley had the best numbers.
But he ain't no number one receiver though. He's a man coverage beating.
That's my point. That's my point exactly. Dez Bryant. But here's what was interesting though. Dez Bryant actually averaged more per catch that year in 2016 than he did in any other time in his career, even with Tony Romo throwing to him.
He also wasn't getting force fed the ball that year either. It was more of a flow of the offense type of thing.
Well, when you think about it, though, what did Dak say when Dez first started coming back?
Get open and I'll throw you the damn ball.
Exactly. This year it wasn't that philosophy. It was like it seemed like they're saying we're going to try and get Dez, which I understand the philosophy there was, because it was if you can get Dez open deep, if you can start hitting him, it's going to loosen up and make the offensive line blocking that much easier because you're not getting 8 men in the box. I understand that philosophy. It just didn't work for whatever reason. They just could not connect, and I think it was because Dez Bryant is a guy who you got to throw him open. He's not going to ever have separation. To get it to him, you're going to be throwing in some bad space. And the interesting thing is, you realize that Tony Romo, he had more interceptions throwing to Dez Bryant than anybody else.
Damn.
Combined. Yeah.
It's just
that's the truth. He had more combined. He had more interceptions when he was throwing to Dez Bryant than everybody else combined.
Yeah,
Go ahead. It's just rough when I see our people, Cowboys fans, whether you 80%, whether you 20, we still one big family, whether we get along or not. Me, Trey, JR214, we all got something in common at the end of the day. It just hurt me when I see Cowboys fans say, "Oh, Dak doesn't have a number one receiver. We're doomed." He never has, really. And he's done better. You know, the less he has those type of guys. Or when we didn't have Dez, the better we see Dak do. I just want to tell man, pump the brakes, please, man.
Well, here's the interesting thing, because here's what everybody always says, especially as a Glock out there. That, you know, Dak can't win without a running game. And I kind of say, well, wait a minute, let's back up here. Because think about 2014 with the team that everybody said should have been the Super Bowl team, that we were the catch, no catch away from it. You know, the NFL robbed us of that opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. Tony Romo only threw for 3,700 yards that year. 3,700, 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, okay? Not really that far from what Dak was doing when you add the rushing touchdowns. Dak, 22 passing, 6 rushing. He had 28 touchdowns on the season and 13 interceptions. The difference was DeMarco Murray rushed for 1,800 yards. And by doing that, it made it that much easier to have guys open. And it was a balanced offense where the defense couldn't say, all we got to do is stop the run. Or all we got to do is stop Dez Bryant. If you're unpredictable, if you're moving the ball around, and I've got to keep my head on a swivel as a defender, it's hard to go ahead and react to different things. And that's what most people don't seem to get.
And do you know what a lot of last year looked like? It reminded me of, do you guys remember that Arizona Cardinal game back in that 2014 season, actually, where Tony missed the game? I forget who his backup was. Do you guys know who his backup was? But we watched him. And it was Patrick Peterson against Dez Bryant. And Dez Bryant struggled that entire game.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I went on a rant on Dez Bryant for needing to be a number one receiver and not being able to step up in that game.
Right.
DeMarco had a tough game.
Mm-hmm.
I forget who our backup quarterback was, but we ended up losing that game.
Stephen McGee, maybe?
It might have been Stephen McGee.
Yeah.
But that's what a lot of last year looked like when Zeke was gone. And Dez was out there, but that's what it looked like. And maybe it's not so much Dak, and maybe it wasn't so much Dez. Maybe it was the offense. Same guys calling the plays.
You know, I mean,
True.
we've seen Drew Brees become a better quarterback when you incorporate a run game. We've seen Tony become better. Damn, the Patriots run the ball with 4 different running backs. Like let's not act like Dak is trash if he doesn't have a run game. Most quarterbacks are. And you know what? I had this thought.
Let's look at the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, everybody talks about how great Carson Wentz was, but guess what? The difference between the year before and last year was they had a hell of a running game. Look at the Rams, with Jared Goff. Of course, Todd Gurley ended up helping that situation. When you have a good running game, when you have to put 8 men in the box and you get single coverage on wide receivers, you're going to do well. And take a look at some of these other teams. New England doesn't have an Antonio Brown. I mean, they got Gronk, but he gets like 69 catches. Amazing at 69 catches, but I guess it's kind of fitting for Gronk. but he doesn't have a number one wide receiver. It's a wide receiver, I think, had 63 catches. So it's not that you have to have this monster wide receiver. In fact, I will say that teams that have a monster wide receiver, of the top 10 wide receivers last year, only one of them has a ring, and that's DeMarcus Thomas.
Is he still
it
even
wasn't
the
because
top?
of the offense that year.
Is he even still a top 10 receiver at this point? He's kind of where Dez is.
There you go. So it's not that, these big name, big money wide receivers are winning Super Bowl after Super Bowl. Look at Julio Jones. He had an opportunity till they choked, but that's here and there.
You think if Dak was a first-round pick, Cowboys fans would like him more?
No.
Because I think Cowboys, or at least the 80%.
He was a first-round pick and maybe something else.
Cowboys fans didn't like Tony Romo until they don't have him anymore.
I think it's about draft stock. I think because they assumed that there was not a lot of draft capital to put into Dak or Tony, that they could just be so easily, pushed away. I mean, because look, fam,
you remember you came up with the 80% now. You know
100%.
The 80%. The 80%.
Oh, yeah, right.
You know there's some guys out there, no matter what you do, you're a bum. Like you said, half the team wouldn't be there. We had people that are saying Tyron Smith needs to go because he can't stay healthy.
Yeah, you remember that?
Because Dak hadn't had a losing season yet, really.
That's like he's got more wins except for Tom Brady, I think, in the last 2 years.
I don't know a quarterback after his second year that doesn't need to improve. Even Carson Wentz, no matter where you think he is, there's room for improvement. If he's not improving, the league always is, and he's going to regress. That's how it works.
Cowboys out here trying to put Cooper Rush on the field. The 80% trying to put Cooper Rush and Mike White on the field, man.
I said cash money here is like, please watch Mike White in preseason. Okay, all right, we're gonna watch him.
And look, I love Mike White as film guy. I love Mike White.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's good.
But Dak has won games in his league, though.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Dak has done that's impressed the hell out of me that we didn't have with our last quarterback is. He can take a hit and get back up.
Yeah, like it's nothing, though.
He's not leaving backbones and spleens and collarbones and stuff on the ground. He's getting right back up.
That's a 240-pound linebacker type quarterback.
What I try and do here is I try and at least give you numbers and statistics to back up my arguments, okay? Take a look at quarterback. Look it up. Don't just go by me. Look up quarterbacks that have been sacked 9 times and find out how many of them actually won games. Be that Big Ben, be that Aaron Rodgers, be that anybody. Nobody wins games when they're sacked 9 times.
It just doesn't happen.
And what people don't even talk about is, if you remember that game against the Redskins, that hand of his. We really don't know how hurt that hand was. I know one thing. That hand was swollen the hell up. That could have affected him a couple of games as well. I don't know if you guys have ever had, your hands back where it goes numb and try and take a football snap and then try and throw that thing with velocity and accuracy.
In a league that just keeps getting faster and faster.
Go back and take a look at the first 8 games of the season. First 8 games of the season, he was neck and neck with Carson Wentz with numbers. Then you had the Atlanta game, you got the hurt hand, you got Zeke Elliott and all those things on there. So if we get the first half, Dak Prescott, we're good.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Our team will be good.
Dak has so much more room to grow, man, and I wish people would stop trying to rush these young players along, man. Like even when it comes back to the D-Law conversation, right? I've seen somebody hit me with what has D-Law done to earn that money? He ain't been playing long, and he ain't really been good that long.
Right.
Like he had to figure this thing out. Brandon Graham had to figure this thing out. I just dropped the film session on Chandler Jones, and I was blown away because in New England, Chandler Jones was pretty okay. Like he got cut from New England. Mm-hmm. But this Chandler Jones that led the league in sacks in Arizona, y'all go watch that video, by the way, Vash on YouTube.
Shameless plug.
Kid's amazing. And sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it takes veteran moves. You just got to be around the game longer.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not kick Dak Prescott away in his 3rd year. He ain't had a losing season yet. Let him learn a little bit. Let him fly.
Look at Troy Aikman his 3rd year. See where he was. Take a look at Aaron Rodgers. I mean, these guys didn't come out the box smoking. People. This is what drives me crazy is immediately people expect you to come out the box as a rookie to go through and just knock your socks off. But it takes time to develop. It takes time to get used to that NFL grind, to change to the speed. Because see, if you play high school football, great and everything else, but when you play college, that's a whole nother level because, you might have been really good in high school, You were just average in college, and you literally
Everybody
get
good.
your block knocked the F off. So you now take that top 1%, that team that, might have 2 or 3 really, really good guys, they become practice squad guys, maybe, if they're lucky in the NFL. So you're talking about having to learn the speed, the new terminology, and this stuff is coming at you fast and hard, and sometimes your head is just swimming in awe. And that's where you looked at Taco the first half of the season. He was raw when we drafted him because we kind of reached for him because defensive linemen were coming off the board. And we knew if we don't get one now, we're not going to get one of any quality in the second round. So they reached for him knowing he was raw. But you saw, as the season went on, he started playing better and better. And hopefully he'll take off where he left next year and will start being productive. Because generally speaking, defensive linemen and wide receivers don't come out real well the first year. Very rarely are they an Odell Beckham.
Exactly. And that was, if you remember leading up to the draft, that's why I was like, well, offensive lineman, we do that pretty well.
Yeah,
That's why I was like,
we've been very blessed to have those guys be able to start from day one and kick ass every year.
I cannot wait to see that offensive line work in motion. I may drop a video every week breaking down that damn offensive line. It just excites me.
Oh,
it's
man.
the infinity gun.
I,
Look,
I love mauling people.
y'all know the damn Golden State Warriors got all, they got their 5 all-pro guys.
Yeah.
Whatever.
yeah.
Hey, man, we got the Golden State Warriors offensive line, dog. We got that damn 5th Infinity Stone to put into the gun.
We just got DeMarcus Cousins.
We just got DeMarcus Cousins. Look, Connor Williams may be the worst offensive lineman on
there.
our squad.
Damn.
That's wild to me.
Right. But what kills me, though, is all of these offensive rankings and stuff. They're like, well, if you take Zeke Elliott and Dak Prescott off of there, the Cowboys, and the offensive line, it's like, well, why would you take the offensive line and Zeke Elliott off of that offense? Because that's the key components to it. What are you talking about? The fact that they've got the Cowboys offensive arsenal at 30th? What? You telling me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Hey, look.
You're telling me the Cleveland Browns?
Let's just
You're talking
remember
about
all
the
these
New
people.
York Jets? Come on, man.
Hey, look, let's just remember all these clips. That way we can play them back when we're not 30th.
Well, but see, then again, I do understand it because they know when you say some crazy stuff off the wall like that,
It's going to get click,
Cowboys
click.
Nation,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
huge, is going to react to it. Did you hear what these guys said? And we're
Stephen A. made a career off of it.
Yeah, truly. Who would know Stephen A. Smith if it weren't for him hating the Cowboys?
Basketball heads would, but for the most part, other than him being pretty good at basketball, he's a joke at football, but all he does is hate on the Cowboys.
Young Luke, I agree with you. 30th is a joke. Well, thank you very much for the fight. I'm seeing a lot of new people here tonight.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Because Vash Lombardi on the docket.
Oh, Lord.
yeah,
Here we
What are we doing here?
Put Vash on the ticket, baby.
These young
Doing that.
whippersnappers, I tell you.
I'm playing, y'all. I'm really a humble guy, man. For some reason, people think I'm just an asshole. I don't want people to think that, man. I'm chilling. I'm straight. I just called Trey out there one time, and I called 5.
and he has been
And I called the
missing.
other
He's
dude
been
out.
missing ever since. I don't know. Trey, come on back, man. It's all good. He's not going to hurt you.
So let me ask you this question, because I got some Cowboy fans at the day job. We was having this conversation.
Okay. What's that?
Do you think DeMarco Murray should have just took the pay cut in Dallas and probably would have been had a much better end to his career?
I'll let you answer that first.
The question is yes, but I can't tell him to turn down money. That would just be foolish. They were offering the Eagles were offering him a lot of money, but
Prescott.
keep this in mind. One of the reasons I believe he should have took the pay cut is because in Texas your money is longer. For one, number two, when you're a Cowboy and you're a Cowboy for life, they take care of you, and you know what I'm saying. You're gonna get that money anyway in that respect, and you're gonna be on TV and this and that anyway. So if it was really about, I guess, his career and his legacy, he should have took the pay cut to stay in Dallas, and they could have figured things out.
Well, here's the thing.
Because of DeMarco Murray, we got Dak Prescott.
Right. Which, see, I don't think the Cowboys really won. I think the Cowboys basically used him up, ran him into the ground, and said, we're going to lowball you so much, we just want you to walk. because I think they figured that he's not gonna come back after that, because generally speaking, when you have that many carries, your numbers always go down. That's another
true.
one of those statistics. Like I said, when you're 28 in the wide receivers, your numbers go down. After you have that many carries, you're never the same again. And so the Cowboys, I think they were just like, okay, let's go ahead and just start all over on running back. But I think they would have been better served having him. But again, like Michael was just pointing out, because you had DeMarco Murray, because we had that. Because here's the thing in football, it's kind of like basketball. Basketball, if you're not really, really bad, you're not going to be able to ever get good. You get stuck in purgatory. And that's where our team had been stuck for so long, from like 2007 through till that 2015 season. You ended up being good enough to make the playoff every couple of years, but not bad enough that you really get those quality players in the draft, okay? And we had to go ahead and have 2015 to be able to get Zeke Elliott, and we lucked up. I'm saying we lucked the F up getting Dak Prescott. If Dak Prescott is playing for the Dallas Cowboys for the next 10 years, and we didn't have to even use a single number one, when you look at what teams had to move up just to get a place or two to try and draft a quarterback,
Man, we could have had Paxton Lynch. Oh, my God.
that's who we wanted to trade up to get. Can you imagine if we gotten that scrub?
You guys want Paxton
So
Lynch?
we had to get bad because of that, and that was because of him that we were able to get the players that we did. But
You guys wanted Connor Cook?
Demario
They wanted
Davis.
Connor Cook.
I remember talking to Demario Davis because I kept saying that, I'd love to see you in a Dallas Cowboy uniform, because, you get a guy who had 135 tackles and 6 sacks as a linebacker. I'd like to have him in the middle of my team because that guy was a leader. And I said, the Jets, are they going to make a deal? I mean, how you feel about that? And he was like, listen, what you have to understand is I am an independent contractor. I get a 1099. And when they're done with me, they're done with me. So I have to make everything that I can, because that's got to last me the rest of my life. I'm not guaranteed any other career or being able to go into the booth or anything like that. So I have to make sure I make what I can right now. So this is not about me and my loyalty to the team, because the teams, he said, as you see, I was drafted by the Jets. They sent me to Cleveland. Then they bring me back. And now they ain't talking about paying me. So why should I have loyalty to you if you don't have loyalty to me?
Mm-hmm. And that's why I understood why he did the move. I understood why he did it. The Eagles they gave him that bag, and he had to take it.
So I think both sides might have been better served for 2015 had he been there. But, it's football. And that's why, you look at all of the leaders on our team, Bruce Carter led us in interceptions, unsigned. Jeremy Mincey led us in sacks, retired. Dez Bryant, teamless. Tony Romo in the booth. Sterling Moore led us in pass deflections. All those guys are gone. And that wasn't that long ago.
I know.
So we have a brand new team here, and hopefully a brand new attitude, and I really have a lot of hope for this team.
Yeah, and even and to go back on something with Dak and not having the number one, if you look at it, somebody brought this up a couple of weeks ago. Jason Witten, Dez Bryant, they were the only two guys that knew the offense better than him, that knew what it was supposed to look like. They knew how Tony drew it up, how pretty much they constructed it. So when Dak was messing up, imagine going back to the huddle and they know exactly what it was supposed to look like, and it didn't. What it does is take away from the leadership of Dak Prescott, and it kind of creates a little bit of a conflict there. So now this is 100% Dak led to where, things are going to run the way that he wants them to run. So I look forward to seeing some of the things that Dak does going forward to up his game.
Incognito says he's still trying to process how Tony Romo picked Blake Bortles to be in the Super Bowl with the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Green Bay Packers.
Hey, man.
If I was a conspiracy theorist, knowing that Tony Romo is going to call the game, if I was the NFL, you know who I'd want to see in the Super Bowl?
The Cowboys.
Oh, could you imagine the drama there? The Dallas Cowboys in the Super Bowl with Tony Romo calling it?
I got a question, Mark.
Okay, go ahead. Here we go. Whenever he asks a question, I know I'm about to get hit.
No.
Because do you notice how he said, I got a question?
It's for both of y'all, really.
Okay.
especially marked up. If DeMarcus Lawrence wasn't on this team, say he was with the Jets, and he got 14 sacks with the Jets, and he became a free agent, would you want to sign him?
If we could afford him, absolutely yes.
I wanted to sign Calais Campbell last year, and he only averaged about 8 a year. So you know what my answer would have been.
Absolutely.
So
I know. Okay.
I saw you ask that question on Twitter.
You got a very good question. But here,
we sit up here and we act like we don't want to re-sign this 26-year-old that's evolved.
But we're talking. Okay, listen though. But we're talking about $90 million.
Mark, I'm not screaming at you. I promise I'm not yelling at you. But what I'm saying is the Cowboys that have been searching for a pass rusher for years.
Yeah, we got it.
Since DeMarcus Ware went to the daggone Broncos, we've been looking for a pass rusher for years.
Okay.
And we get one.
Mm-hmm.
And now we don't even know if we want to sign him. And he's 26.
He got 17 million reasons to be happy for this year.
He's on the franchise tag, Mark. I'm talking to the people that may not want to re-sign DeMarcus Lawrence. That may not want to bring him back to the team. You got to pay for the future, not pay for what he's done. What he's done was he was injured and he was out of shape and he was PED. That's what he's done. But now it ain't like DeMarcus Lawrence was
he ended the year, and I made that point. I said he ended the year healthy, so hopefully he's going to be able to take off where he left off. So yes, he is a key component to the defense. I am not disagreeing with you on that 100%.
I'm not screaming at you.
Oh, you wouldn't be. Listen, half of these cockroaches.
Scream on them, Vash. Scream on them.
Half of these cockroaches in here right now are screaming at the YouTube channel at me. So it's all right. It's all good.
I could be wrong.
I'm a grown man. I can take somebody yelling at me.
I'm not buzzing at you. I could be wrong, but I think somewhere I read a post where it said DeMarcus Lawrence requested 5 years, $75 million. Am I right? Or what's what?
It would end up being more than that. It would probably be more like about 85 because he would want to be the highest paid, and so I think the other one is 75 million. So
and the way that the NFL is going, let's give them that because you know what's gonna happen. We gonna give them that. Then Khalil gonna want to get paid.
That's the thing is you want you want to get paid before Khalil Mack gets his as well as Aaron Donald because those two are gonna bust the bank right there. So yeah, I agree. There's everything in the NFL is a crapshoot. I mean, all these guys that traded up to grab a quarterback, they just gamble with a whole lot of money and draft picks to try and see if we got the guy. And half of them won't be the guy, so they've been crapped out. So that's one of those risks. Now, if there's any good news, at least for the Cowboys, and here's the way you look at it, too. If you do sign him, because Law put up a picture and said, do you want to sign Earl Thomas or do you want to pay DeMarcus Lawrence? You can do both. Because the way the Cowboys structure those deals, you're getting cap relief. Zach Martin, everybody's like, oh, man, we don't have money to pay Zach Martin. I was like, dude, you understand, when Tyron Smith signed his $96 million deal, the first year only cost us $6 million. And they put triggers in there, so if we need to, at the sign of a pen, they can grab an extra $10 million for another year. So money is not an issue the way they do those contracts. They could do his contract right now, and his cap hit this year would probably be about $7-8 million. About $7-8 million at most, as opposed to 17. And the money that they would save if they don't use it this year goes into next year's cap. So that means whatever's not spent is added to next year's money, and you lose $24 million in dead money. And then you have some guys that you look at and say, it might be time to part ways. You got your Terrence Williams. I love Tyrone Crawford, but, you look at him and say he's $9 million next year. We can cut him and save, a big chunk of money. So you can do it if you are sold that is the guy, and you can still go ahead and get Earl Thomas and do the same thing as well.
Not to mention, with the dead money disappearing, the TV deal makes the cap go up every year.
Every year, as much as people say football is dying, that cap went up another $10 million this year. It's going to go up another $10 million next year and the year after. So there is money out there to go, and because this team is young and because it's built mostly on draft picks, there's a lot more money than you think. In fact, I think right now, as far as cap room, I think we went from being second from the bottom to right now being 10th.
Moving on.
We're moving up as far as cap room. You look at everybody else in our division. They broke asses, but we've actually gained space.
I just remember when the Vikings signed Everson Griffin. He got like 14.5, and we was like, damn.
Yep.
Everson Griffin ain't even like top 5 paid right now. I mean, for 14.5, and he was in the top half of sack production too.
Right.
Like 14.5 is a steal for him. Like, let's go ahead.
I think he only had like 7-8 sacks this year.
Everson Griffin is in the top half of sacks. Like, he's in the. Let me look this up.
I think he only had about 8 sacks this season.
I just did a video on Everson Griffin. Everson Griffin got plenty snacks.
Okay, all right.
Snacks. That's what we calling them now, right?
Snacks.
Okay.
You gotta coin that phrase, man.
I will not. Everson Griffin. Doski Woski, though. Everson Griffin. Again.
Oh, Kristen, that's cold. She's got Carson Wentz with wheelchair emojis. Oh, man. Damn.
Everson Griffin got, I think he had more than 13.
No.
Yeah. Okay, playoffs. So he had 16 sacks altogether.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I'll take that. Okay. I'll take that. Everson Griffin
Okay,
for
right.
$14 million. We would pay DeMarcus, what, 17, 18, whatever, 19.
We're paying him 17 right now.
Man, look, Khalil Mack going to get like 21 mil. Von going to get 21 mil.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald better
Sign
get
them
something.
now. Sign them now before they get them deals, man. Period.
Thank you. Thank you, Jay Jeezy. Real Jay Jeezy.
All right. Well, I hear you. Okay. So we've heard. Damn, you got the full jug. We'd have heard the word from Vash on that we need to pay the man on DeMarcus Lawrence. Anything else that you got in there that you wanna go ahead and put out there?
I mean, it's your show. I just get ideas when I'm at the day job, and I just come on here and just scream at people. I ain't got nothing real to say to y'all. Salute to T.O. for remaining steadfast what he believe in. For them folks want to be talking shit about him for 20
T.O.
years. Now all of a sudden he a diva because he don't want to sit at y'all party.
Yeah.
I'm with him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I hear you on that one.
But besides that, I'm good. I'm here to chill with y'all. Mark and JG's and Jobu and Mike.
Yeah, we'll only have a couple minutes left here because I got to actually take care of some business here tonight at 10 o'clock. I am still kind of miffed, and I know I need to just get over the whole Zeke Elliott suspension thing, but I keep looking around at all this stuff that is going down. I mean, the NFL, this is like one of those things that karma may have caught up with the NFL. Because you got guys that are just literally losing their mind. We talked about Shady McCoy. You actually put another theory in there. So what if she ended up setting this thing up to make it look like Shady did? I mean, that is a possibility and all that. But either way, it still is bad.
Yeah.
You got the Reuben Foster situation. You've had the Jameis Winston. You got, Winslow Jr.'s case. Have you seen that?
I have not.
There's so many cases out there.
He got.
Mr. Goodell needs to be pretty damn busy, if you ask me.
They got him he attempted rape of all these older women. I mean, we're talking like 58 was the young one. And
dang.
I think one of them was 71.
What the hell wrong with these dudes out here,
Okay,
man?
so yeah, he's got. I mean, like I said, these are allegations. These are things that I've heard. So you got that thing going on. You got the guy from Jacksonville who supposedly was sleeping with somebody passed out and gave her herpes and things. I mean, you got all of these things. So when we look at Terrence Williams,
Foul dudes out there,
and Marcus White. Marquez White is like, damn, we good. Okay, we pretty good this season.
We choir boys right now.
Because every time I look at something online, I'm seeing everybody working out, and it's like they've got a challenge going on to say my workout's harder than your workout because you've seen everybody out there. You see Bo? Bo knows weights. Bo was squatting at 405, man, pumping it like it's nothing, full squats. I'm like, damn. If I tried that stuff,
block somebody though? Can he do that? Can he hit somebody on a kickoff? Can he do that? He's gonna have to.
Can he run his feet through contact?
Thank you. He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to.
Maybe he can learn. Give the people a chance, man.
Star Girl may make this team, and I just want people to be prepared for that.
Well, maybe he doesn't, but at least he looked good in the weight room.
Weight room don't get you W's though. Want to hear
It's
that?
a start, okay? Because I haven't seen too many wimps that have been out there making it in the NFL. You got to start with something. You got to have at least the tools. Now, if you don't know how to work the damn tools, that's a different story. But at least he's got the tools.
Weight room don't give you body lean as a running back.
BFN, big for nothing.
With that being said, guys, the time literally flies by when I'm with you guys. Vash, give me your last words for the night.
Doski Woski, thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me into the Cowboys community. Like I said, I'm film guy. I wish I could have been Cowboys YouTube guy, but I ended up being film dude. So thank y'all for even considering me, for being on with y'all. Follow me on my YouTube. Follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, Vash Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. I break down film. I think I'm pretty okay at it. JG's, get your ass back on YouTube. Quit playing, boy. It's funny.
All right.
It's funny. Pay that rent.
And with that introduction, what you going to do, man? You going to be one or buy one?
I don't know, man. Look, tonight definitely was a good step in the right direction. But right now, you guys can follow me on Twitter at DMV Dallas Cowboy. And I may or may not be back, but if I am back, I still got the channel open, so you can subscribe if you want to. But DMV Dallas Cowboys channel on YouTube.
Here's what you got to understand, see. When you start doing this YouTube thing, man, it's like crack. You want to get away from it. It keeps calling me, man. It keeps calling me. Because look, my man, we got the whole Cowboy conglomerate. We got Law Nation. We got DMV on it. We got Clarence Missing in Action. We got the Stinking Giant Fan. We got E2 Blue and all that. And he said, man, I got the itch, man. I got the itch. I don't know what to do. And I said, go see the doctor. But with that being said, guys, it is always fun. Just think about this. Next Friday when we do the live stream will be the last weekend that we don't have the football team on the field. This season is coming fast and hard, and regardless of what the talking heads or those cockroaches in here have to say about our Dallas Cowboys, this is going to be a good season for our team. And I'm going to leave you guys with this one last thing. I was told that I make up stories, that I'm a liar, that things that I say happen don't happen. But this is a little clip for me to show you guys. How you doing, man? Oh, okay. Oh, you can see Sean Lee. Okay, man. Yeah, we got to get your mojo going for this season, man. I want that 6th Super Bowl ring.
The 6th one.
Yeah, man.
Let me get work here. I need to stay injury free, so everything you can bring.
There you go, man.
Appreciate
God bless. All right. So when I tell you that Sean Lee asked Jobu to keep him healthy on the field, and he was a Pro Bowler 2 years in a row, when he saw Jobu, you saw him get his ass up and come to Jobu to rub some of that mojo on him. Hopefully, this is going to be another fantastic year for Sean Lee and the Dallas Cowboys because they are going for that 6th ring. As always, I want to thank my buddies for coming in here tonight, and I will see you guys on Monday night live streaming, and of course, when any news breaks with the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Mark Holmes, and this is my posse.